SEC Media Days next week. You got fall camp on the 31st. You got Nick Saban winning Icon Awards at the ESPYs. Great time to be an Alabama football fan. You're rocking and rolling right here on the hottest show on these streets, talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you with us here on a Friday. We bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of a channel, go ahead right now, hit that subscribe button. You smash subscribe right now. You get everybody that you know, friends, family members, diehard fans, casual fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe as well. Don't miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama news there. Hit that like button as well. Smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up right here on the show. Raise those like levels up. We appreciate that. The daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate the support from all of you and definitely want to hear from you guys this evening. You can do that by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you guys, but we're going to jump to right now, Eli, topic number one of the conversation. And that being, we got some updates here. Some summer updates for you for the Alabama football program. Several Bama players. These are current veteran guys. These are freshman summer enrollees. These are transfer players that came in the summer. All of these guys have gotten their numbers updated. They've gotten new numbers heading into the college football season this upcoming fall. So all of these numbers can be found on RollTide.com. You go right there. You check out the numbers here on your favorite athletes to see which guy's going to be wearing which number here. But starting this off with the current guys, the veterans on the team, here we go. Here are their numbers right here. They're on screen. You look at Kendrick Law, wide receiver. He's gone from number 19 previously. Kendrick Law wears number 1 now. Do you identify K-Law as number 1? Behind K-Law, you look at Emmanuel Henderson Jr. He is no longer 24. That was his previous number. Emmanuel Henderson is now number 3. So E-Man is 3 now. There you go there for him. When you look at, guys like James Smith on the defensive line, James Smith is no longer number 47. He is now number 23. So James Smith is number 23. That's his number right there as far as the guys making those changes there in the summer. The rest of those guys that they're right there on screen for you in terms of guys that have changed their numbers, older, veteran players. Can we get that screen a bit bigger there, Eli? Can we get that screen just a bit bigger there as we try to name some more guys if we can? But we got James Smith there for you. We got Emmanuel Henderson there for you. There we go, Eli. We got Quay Russaw. Quay Russaw, who was number 49 before at linebacker. He's now number 4. And then you got Richard Young, running back, who was once number 25. He will wear number 9 for Alabama. Let's see who else we got here. We got here Justin Jefferson at linebacker, who was once number 28. He will wear number 15 for your Crimson Tide. You got Jaron Hamilton at wide receiver, once number 23. He will now wear number 16. You got Zabian Brown. When you look at freshman spring enrollees, he wore number 15. He will now wear number 2. And then last but not least, offensive lineman Casey Poe started off wearing number 74. He will now wear number 50. So those are all of the guys there in terms of your veteran players and then spring enrollees with their updated numbers. As we go now to the freshmen, the summer enrollee freshmen and the transfers, Ryan Williams headlines the summer enrollee freshmen with new numbers here, or with different numbers here. So let's get to those guys here, Eli. On this next screen, Ryan Williams will wear number 2. He's got number 2. So Ryan Williams, the former 5-star with a 5-star from Sarah Lynn High School, will wear number 2. Rico Scott, wide receiver freshman, will wear number 11. Then you got Amari Jefferson, wide receiver freshman, will wear number 17, Jalen Waddle's old number. You got Noah Carter, linebacker, will wear number 24. Then you got Kevin Riley, freshman running back, will wear number 28. Then you look at Aiden Moore, linebacker, the younger brother of Malachi Moore, will wear number 29, if I'm not mistaken there. Then you got QB Reese, the freshman linebacker, will wear number 36. And then you got Jay Lindsey, the freshman tight end, will wear number 88. In terms of the summer transfers, King Mack, formerly from Penn State, a defensive back, he will wear number 5. You got Cameron Howard, formerly of University of North Carolina at Charlotte, defensive back. He will wear number 6. You got Deshaun Jones, formerly of Wake Forest, defensive back. He will wear number 7. Graham Nicholson, formerly of University of Miami at Ohio, place kicker, will wear number 14. You got Gino Vandemark, formerly of Michigan State. He will wear number 56, offensive lineman. And then Caden Proctor's back after a sip of coffee at Iowa. He will get his number 74 back from Casey Poe, who's now going to be wearing number 50. So those will be your summer enrollee freshmen and the transfer guys right there. So there you have it. There you have it there. So the guys that have the guys that were your veteran players and your spring enrollee guys with their updated numbers, and then your summer enrollee freshmen with the transfers that came in the summer. Those are their numbers, just providing to you, the Alabama football fan base, with some updates right there so that you know which numbers your favorite players are wearing here in the upcoming season. We're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get to you, the Bama fans, after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number 1 ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio right here. You guys continue hitting the like button, smashing that subscribe button, making this your spot, your place for all things Bama football. We got SEC Media Days next week at the Omni Hotel in Dallas, Texas. Alabama will be speaking on Wednesday. Yours truly, I'll be down there representing TDA, getting all of that awesome media day coverage. But we definitely want to hear from you guys. Phone lines open, 205-448-1358. For them to call in, 205 448-1358, number to call to let your voice be made known. A call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. As you guys are getting your thoughts prepared to call in. Eli, how about Nick Saban last night? Getting an ESPY Icon Award for Nick Saban. Even though no longer the head coach of the University of Alabama football program, he is still making an impact. Nick Saban earning the Icon Award at the ESPYs. And it was awesome how two of his former players, two of his former Heisman Trophy winners, Mark Ingram, Bryce Young, presented him with the accolade, the award there. And, the passion of which Coach Saban gave his acceptance speech, talking about people may not always remember what you say, but they will always remember how you made them feel in life. And awesome getting that from Coach Saban. Him being able to pocket this incredible award, being the icon honor at the ESPY. So big ups there to one Nick Saban, who will also be a contributing analyst at SEC Media Days next week. So Nick Saban not going completely away from the Southeastern Conference. He'll be an analyst on set next week, Dallas, Texas at Media Days. Take another quick break here of the show. When we get back, we get into a conversation about, are there certain aspects of Alabama football that could decline in year one with King and DeBoer? Not saying they will, but are there certain aspects under Coach DeBoer that could possibly decline in this upcoming season? We'll talk about it after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And folks, we are back rocking into the action from the break here. Number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have all of you guys in here on a Friday. And so, we're going to jump into right now. Topic 2 of the conversation. You guys continue smashing the like button, hitting that subscribe button. Daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But are there any aspects under King and DeBoer? Could there be some aspects under Coach DeBoer that decline in his first season at Alabama? Obviously, there are some areas where you expect Alabama to be better. You expect the Crimson Tide to make improvement from after last year. But are there also some aspects where you could possibly see the Tide maybe decline a bit? And so the reason why I ask this question is, if you go back to last year, there wasn't just a whole lot of things that Alabama did exceptionally well. Yes, Alabama won the SEC championship last year, absolutely. Yes, Alabama got to the college football playoff, definitely. But there wasn't just a handful of things that you looked at Alabama and you thought to yourself, this team does this better than everybody else in the country. You didn't have necessarily those thoughts. As opposed to years past, early in the Saban era, you looked at so many aspects and you thought, man, this Alabama team does A, B, C, D better than anybody else in the nation does it, right? But, Eli, I can only think of two things. If there are aspects that could decline under DeBoer in his first year, I can only think of two things that might possibly could. Number one is the consistency at cornerback. Does the cornerback position take a back seat in 2024? Because Alabama had two consistent corners last year in Terrion Arnold and Kool-Aid McKinstry. You had two lockdown guys. Now, I get it. Some people may say, but Stephen, Kool-Aid wasn't all that last year. He didn't dominate. He didn't ball out. He didn't have a ton of interceptions. People, look, the biggest compliment you give a corner is when you don't throw to his side. He is so dominant on his side, you don't even test him. That's the biggest compliment you give a corner that's a lockdown defender, is you sit there and you think to yourself as a quarterback, there is no use of me testing his side. Because I already know if I'm testing his side, I'm flirting with I'm flirting with danger. If I'm testing his side, I'm flirting with death here. So why do I even test him? Kool-Aid made the bulk of his shutdown money as a sophomore in 2022 when he led the team with 15 pass breakups and an interception. This past season, Kool-Aid had 7 breakups. So many people, so many quarterbacks went into last season thinking, okay, we're not going to go at Kool-Aid. We're going to go after Terrion. And Terrion stepped up and made you pay. Had a team-high 5 picks. Had a team-high 12 breakups. Terrion gets drafted first round of this recent NFL venue by the Detroit Lions. He and Kool-Aid could have easily went first round together. Now, yes, Kool-Aid got bumped to the second round to the Saints, but they both could have went first round. The point being, you had 2 consistent lockdown corners a season ago. So here's the big question. Can Alabama have that this upcoming season, right? Because you've got new guys in both spots. You got 2 new guys in both spots. You got Damani Jackson, transfer from USC. You got Deshaun Jones, transfer from Wake Forest. Both of those 2 pushing for your 2 starting cornerback jobs. Then you got Jaleel Hurley, the lone 2023 former 5-star scholarship holdover from a 23 class. And you got Zabian Brown, who I think of the freshman corners that came in this year's class, he's the most prepared, the most ready right now with his teach tape coming out of high school in California. But can any of these guys have that same kind of consistent production of a Kool-Aid McKinstry and a Terrion Arnold? That will be the question of intrigue this year. Alabama had consistent guys on the boundary last year. Could that decline this season? It could. But does Alabama have that same level of consistency at that cornerback spot this season? We shall see. Another area that could be one of decline is the sack numbers from your outside linebackers. Alabama's been blessed with Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell. Think about this, y'all. As bad as Pete Golding was, and Pete Golding gave everybody PTSD. Bad as Pete was, Will Anderson carried Alabama in sacks for 2 years. 2021 had 17 and a half. 2022 had 10 sacks, right? Will Anderson carried you for 2 years. 2023, you had the combination of Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell combined for 18 of the team's 39 sacks last year. So even with how awful Pete was and the job Kevin Steele did for 1 year trying to undo all the sadness of Pete, you still had consistently strong outside linebacker edge rusher play. You still had that. In terms of sack numbers, you still had that. So now, the question becomes, can those sack numbers remain or even take a step higher with this new group? You look at big Quandarius Robinson, Q Robinson is now or never for Q Rob. Then you got Keanu Coote, fast, twitchy, quick, athletic, edge, bending ability. You got him. You got Quay Russaw. Everybody and their great-grandmama want to see him, especially after what he did at high school at Carver in Montgomery. And then you got Keon Keeley, former five-star, who can play that four-eye bandit defensive end spot, or he can be a wolf outside edge rush backer. Either one of the two. So, can the sack numbers be consistent with where they were with Anderson, Turner, Braswell, or with this new group here, can it traject even higher? With Q-Rob, Coote, Russaw, Keeley, and then I haven't even mentioned Yonsei Pierre and Jay Sean Ross. So that's going to be intriguing right there for Alabama. But those are the main two things. If there is a decline in year one under Kalen DeBoer, I look at the consistency at corner without having Terrion Kool-Aid. Can that consistency be there? And then after you were blessed with Anderson, Turner, Braswell, can this next group either keep those sack numbers where they had it or take it up another notch? We're going to go to another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we want to hear from you. Line us up in the phone lines. Definitely want your thoughts, your calls, your conversations right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people. We're back locked into the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Number one ticket here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You guys continue to subscribe to TDA, to TouchdownAlabama.com, TouchdownAlabama.com. We got you covered there on all things Crimson Tide. But We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Corey calling from Trussville, Alabama. How are you doing this morning? This afternoon?
Doing great, Corey. Doing great. We got media days next week. I'm excited to get down there to Dallas to get up with Coach DeBoer and the players and just being a part of the whole media day craze down there in Dallas.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm sure that the players are excited and Coach DeBoer is excited, and this will be kind of a new experience for him because he's probably never experienced a media gathering much like this.
Right. It's going to be very different for Coach DeBoer. I mean, you're coming from the Pac-12 to the SEC where football matters way much more down here in the Southeast region. Of course, you're adding Texas and Oklahoma to this whole picnic deal here as well. So it's going to be a frenzy. And I think DeBoer is prepared for it. I think the three young men he's bringing with him, Tyler Booker, Jalen Milroe, Malachi Moore, those guys have probably prepared him even more so for it. So, going to be good.
You know, there's a lot of good games on our schedule, but I think there's a game that nobody's talking about that everybody needs to pay attention to, and that is the Missouri game. Because everybody's going to be excited about the Georgia game, the Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma, and the Iron Bowl. But that homecoming game against Missouri can be very tricky if Alabama's not prepared. And if you look at Missouri's schedule, there is a legitimate chance that they could be coming into Bryant-Denny undefeated. And they have a really good team. I mean, they have a good quarterback in Brady Cook. Luther Burton is probably one of, if not the best receivers in the SEC, and they feel like they have a good chance to make some noise in the SEC. So that Missouri game, it's going to be a tricky homecoming game because usually when you think of homecoming, you think of a very easy win. But this homecoming game, when that comes around, it's going to be very difficult if Alabama isn't prepared to play.
It's crazy, Corey, you brought up Missouri because I had Missouri as a trap game if Bama doesn't watch it. I have Missouri as a trap game. Eli Drinkwitz is a very good coach. Missouri's coming off an 11-win season where they beat Ohio State in the bowl game. They have a lot returning offensively. They got some dudes defensively that are back. Missouri's got confidence. They got a lot of confidence. And they're going to want to come into Bryant-Denny, that homecoming game, with a lot of confidence. Alabama has got to be on its P's and Q's in that matchup. And I agree with you. People are talking about Georgia. They talk Tennessee. They talk the Oklahoma matchup, the Auburn matchup, the Wisconsin matchup. But that matchup against Missouri inside Bryant-Denny could be a very tricky ball game if Alabama kind of walks into that matchup not really taking Missouri seriously.
Yeah, and their kicker moved on, I think. Is that right?
Say it again.
Their kicker, Beavis, did he move on?
I think he did. I think he did, yes.
When the college football season starts, are there any week one games that catch your attention that you're looking forward to watching?
Woo, man, Corey, it's quite a few. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and look at and just circle some down to really have that in front of me. But it's definitely a few that I will have my eyes on. I think Eli's typing one in right now. Oh yeah. Miami, Florida, Eli's a good one. Miami, Florida, Georgia, Clemson. Georgia, Clemson is going to be a good one. Miami versus Florida is going to be a good one. Now, Georgia, Clemson, I don't know how much pressure is going to be on Dabo Swinney to make that one very, very competitive? I mean, I know you got Cade Klubnik at quarterback. Dabo's been very adamant about not wanting to embrace the portal. At some point, you need to do that because you got to somehow get assets for your team from the portal. But that Georgia-Clemson game, that Miami versus Florida game, both of those two will be interesting week one matchups.
I think if Clemson gets embarrassed, that could send a strong message for Clemson for their season. And then Miami, Florida, if I think there's more pressure on Miami in that game because Miami's supposed to win that game. And for Florida, if they win that game, that could send some positive vibes with them. But you can make an argument that loser could leave town for that game because, yes, it's a big rivalry, but it's also a recruiting war too. And just if you're Florida, you need something good go your way because that schedule is just a gauntlet. I mean,
Corey, I don't know why Billy Napier approved that schedule. I don't know why Billy Napier did that. And for Napier to be able to hang on to his job because his seat is already one of the hottest seats in college football. In order for Napier to hold that job, he's going to have to at least go 6-6. If he goes 6-6, he may buy himself one more year. If he doesn't go 6-6, they're going to have Napier's bags packed.
Yeah, and the same thing could be said about Stan Pittman in Arkansas. I mean, I know they got a tough schedule too. I mean, I know they don't play Alabama, but he needs a good season too because he's kind of on the hot seat as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of coaches, Corey, on this hot seat. We will see how all of them respond there. But appreciate Corey calling in from Trustfield, getting started here on a Friday. You guys, 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in and let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. We're going to go to this call topic, Eli. How about them EA Sports College Football 25 video game ratings for Alabama? All of these Bama players, Eli, have a rating of 90 or better. They have a rating of 90 or better. Milrose at 90 or 92. You got Deontay Lawson at 90. So all of these guys are a rating of at least 90, which has us very excited for what these players can do here in the upcoming season. Now, I haven't got my hands on the game yet, Eli. Have you? I haven't gotten the game yet. I know it's supposed to come out soon. Some people were able to get it out early, and they've been playing it, which makes me upset because they got it, and I don't have it yet. And I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of when I get this team, when I get this game, how am I going to go about navigating the transfer portal mode? They have a transfer portal mode on the game. Can you believe that? The game's got transfer portal mode. I got to play that. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But Bama football represented well in the EA Sports video game. Several players with a rating of 90 or better. But we take our final break here on the show. Don't touch that dab. When we get back to the action, we wrap things up with this conversation. A former Alabama quarterback rated his alma mater in the top 5 of his preseason top 25. At what spot in the top 5 did he rank them at? We'll get to that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama, and you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, Bama Nation, we appreciate all of you checking us out here on a Friday TGIF edition of the show, number one forum for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. My man Eli Walker holding it down in the production room here. But final topic or final discussion here of the conversation, you had a former Alabama quarterback a couple of days ago who put out his top 25 preseason college football rankings, and he had his alma mater, the Crimson Tide, in the top 5. But where in the top 5 did Greg McElroy have his team, the Crimson Tide? Well, G-Mac had Bama at number 5. Had Bama at number 5. He put Texas ahead of Bama. He put Georgia ahead of Bama. Of course, he had Ohio State and Oregon ahead of Bama, but Bama's at number 5. And that's a good spot for Alabama right now. That's a good spot. Here's the reason why. You got a lot of talent back on the roster. What King and DeBoer is doing in recruiting right now, how Coach DeBoer has built a winning culture every stop he's made. Coach Saban left an excellent framework and structure for DeBoer to be a part of and build on. So Bama at number 5 is good. Offensively, you are going to be explosive. All you got to have there is the offensive line do its part. And I think Chris Kaplovich is going to have the offensive line do its part. Defensively, the main question we ask ourselves, can Alabama return to being feared on that side of the ball? Feared. Feared on the defensive line, feared at linebacker, feared in the secondary. If Alabama can get back to that style, that level of play defensively, then this will be a team that'll win the SEC championship, that will get into the college football playoff as a first-round bye, one of those 4 teams with a first-round bye, and be in that national championship conversation right there. I think Kagan DeBoer year 1 can get all of this done. G-Mac seeing the Crimson Tide, number 5 here in his preseason top 25. I think this is a really good spot. And I continue to say this. I know the Missouri game was one to keep your eye on. I know the Auburn game, the Iron Bowl rivalry. I get it, Tennessee and LSU will be interesting this year. But I go back to, there is going to be so much emphasis on the Georgia matchup. If Alabama handles Georgia week 4, just mows them down, then this is going to be an Alabama team that will be something to deal with all season. If they go out there and just mow Georgia all the way down. It can happen. Will it happen? Remains to be seen. But it can happen. But I do like McElroy having Bama at number 5 in his AP top 25. That's a good starting point. Good starting point for the Crimson Tide right there. But, Eli, would you have Bama at 5? 5 a good spot for you? Okay, Eli's giving me a thumbs up there. So 5's a good spot for Eli as well. So G-Mac, even though there are some times where you as Alabama fans wonder, why is G-Mac saying this? Why is G-Mac saying that? What possessed McElroy to say what he said? This time around, I think he got it right. I'm around. Bama there at number 5. But As always, folks, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material on your favorite program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can access this by getting the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store. If you got the Android phone for your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I will be at SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas. As far as Monday's show, we will either be in studio or I may be doing that from the home location. We'll get more to you guys throughout the weekend to see if I will be at the home location Monday or I will be in studio on Monday, but we will get that to you. As always, Bama Nation, subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com. That's TouchdownAlabama.com. We got you all things Bama, freshman recruiting, transfer portal recruiting, the current team, the current coaching staff, the current roster, Bama in the NFL. We got you, all things Bama football. Also subscribe to TDA Plus, the Video Hub, all those videos. We got you taken care of right there. How about my man From Davis with the $20 donation? Let's go, From! Dropping the love in there. Appreciate From helping us out. We wind things down here. Gotta show some love to all of you, the Bama fans, the phone calls, the chatting, and the YouTube chat line, making this your show, your spot for all things Bama. I salute my man Eli Walker in the production studio doing his thing there. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Steven Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.